Welcome to USAFBL Fingerboard Podcast. I'm your host, Levine Cunningham, and I'm excited to be chatting with Ramon Angelow. Ramon is also known as Ramon_Angelo on Instagram. Ramon, thanks for coming on the podcast. How are you?
Hey yo, what's up? Yeah, it's amazing like to having you and inviting me like to the podcast is pretty much I think like the first video podcast I've ever been on. So pretty excited about that.
Right on. It's a first. Okay. Well, for those who may not know who you are, which to me would be absolutely crazy, but I would say that you are one of the most top performing fingerboarders on the planet. You're a Black River team rider, and fingerboarding is basically in your blood. I feel like you've been doing this like your entire life.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm 35 years right now and I do finger skateboarding like since I'm 12 pretty much and skateboarding since I'm 9 years old. So yeah, pretty much yeah, almost like my whole time lifetime.
Man, right on. Mid 30s and still at the peak of your career, which is amazing. First off, let's clear the air. So, I have mispronounced your name, and I want to say I feel like millions of other people do not know how to properly say your name. So
Yeah.
yeah, tell us the history behind the name and like how you actually pronounce the name because I don't want to like continuously butcher it because it's hard for me. I don't know. It's an American thing.
Yeah, easy, easy. So, originally said like my name would be Ramon Angelow, but even myself, I never say it like this. So, and how it came, like my mom just liked the name. It's a Spanish name, but I have no Spanish heritage or anything like that. She just liked the name, so she gave me the name. And um, my last name is Bulgarian, and this came from my Bulgarian granddad. And I was like the only Bulgarian in the family, so pretty much like the rest of our family ever was like Germans. Yeah, but and people say the name so differently. Some people say Raymond, some people say ramen, some people say I don't know. For myself, I don't care too much about it, by the way. Like, so if you see me, you say the Ramon however you want to say it. Like, I don't care too much about it, pretty much. But yeah, like, but originally said Ramon is like the Spanish pronunciation, and like the last name is originally in Bulgarian Angelov. That's it, like for the people and for you, you wanted to know. So here you go.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I feel because I hate mispronouncing people's names and like
Okay.
that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I
And
think
most
like sometimes people are a little bit too much into their own name with their ego, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I don't care too much about it.
no, I understand. I'm the same way. My name is actually pronounced Levine, but I go by Levine and it's Jewish. I have a last name for a first name. And a lot of people don't even know that, but that's a little history with me as well. So,
Yeah, cool, cool.
yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, but that was like the same what I thought. Like when I read the name, like, yeah, that's Levine.
So tell us where you are from. Like, I know the country of Germany, but like, let's get more specific. Like, let's talk about, where you're from.
So I'm living in Berlin since 2003, the end of 2003, I moved here. And before that, like to go all the way back, I was born in the DDR, if you're like a little bit familiar, like with the history of Germany, with the wall and everything, just like Google about it because like there would be like way too much to talk about this right now because it's a way too long story. But yeah, so I was born in the DDR, and when I was 5 weeks old, my family went like to West Germany, and ever since then we tried to find like a place to stay, pretty much, and to find a new home. And Berlin is pretty much like the first time I ever had the feeling that okay, that's the place I'm staying in, that's my home, and yep, that's how it is. So about how long is it right now? Like 21 years?
For me, I went to Fast Fingers and obviously we flew into Berlin. So I had the opportunity to actually experience Berlin for about a good solid 3 days or so. It's a really big city, and I like how everything is kind of easy to get to with public commuting and stuff like that. I know that I didn't really get a chance to really experience like the German food over there,
Mm.
like real like German recipes, German cooking, like those type of restaurants. I really kind of dropped the ball on that. I ate a few different places, but I mean, for the time that I was there, like I really should have gotten into the food, the cuisine, things like that that were local there. Kind of tell us a little bit about just the Berlin scene for, let's just start with the skateboarding scene. Like I went to the what they call like dog shit park,
Mm-hmm.
which was pretty
True.
close to our hostel, but I know there's got to be like other skate parks, other like, just the skate scene in general.
Yeah. So first of all, like how you realized when you was in Berlin for the 3 days, like Berlin is really, really huge. Like it's pretty gigantic. And um, yeah, like Berlin is more known for their like when it comes to skateboarding, like skate spots, skate parks, whatsoever. Berlin's not so much known for too much amazing skate parks. It's more known for legendary old street spots and rough stuff and whatsoever. This is why like the worldwide skateboard scene, like even like American pros come over to film street footage for the skate videos, and they already been doing this since like 20, 25 years, you know. It's more splitted to like the areas in Berlin. So when you have Friedrichshain, pretty much the place where you've been, like at the
Hmm.
Dogshit Park, the Ace Eye Shop, and so on. Um, this is pretty much like the Friedrichshain, Berlin Friedrichshain scene. And then like right next to it, you have Kreuzberg and Neukölln, like two other parts, and they have like their own like I don't know how you want to say like the groups, their teams, whatsoever. Like they're I don't know how to say how you say it. They're like a clique or something. I don't know.
Yeah. No, just like a
Like you
group
have
of,
different
yeah.
groups of skaters from that areas, and then sometimes at or like pretty often at some more known bigger spots, like they'll sometimes all come together or whatsoever. And yeah, so you have I don't know, like that's a problem. Berlin is so damn big that is like not too easy like to explain, but
It is
for myself,
massive.
I yeah, it's damn massive. And for myself, I all the time skated the whole like 21 years I'm living there. So all like 80% of the places I you could go to skate. That's why I never meet up with people because I just go somewhere and then I know like they're gonna be like couple of people I will definitely know because I for 2 decades skating at that big city.
Well, I like the architecture from just Berlin has like amazing architecture. They've got, I'm not a skater. I'm kind of one of the biggest posers, and a lot of people kind of know that already because like obviously a huge fingerboarding fan, but my parents never let me skate. And so like I never kind of got the skateboarding experience like a lot of other people do. But like as I'm traveling around, like I'm looking at these, I wouldn't say it's marble, but it's definitely like some kind of granite or something, like ledges all throughout the city. There's these handrails, double kink rails. There's
Yep.
just a lot of stuff to skate based off of just the little things that I've seen around the city that I even when I was there. And so I'm just like, I feel like Berlin could easily be like a skateboarding mecca if you're one of those people that just want to go street skate and stuff. I feel like there's a lot of spots.
I mean, like for street skating, it definitely is like how I said before, like there's like a lot of people from all over the world like coming there and then even moving there, like some Americans, some Africans, some like pretty much almost every European country. There's like people who just moved to Berlin as a skater because of skateboarding, the spots and the community. So that's a really known thing, like in Berlin, that like, oh, like yeah, you have like the Spanish skater over there, like he just moved here like 3 years ago, and then like I have a couple of British, like a lot of friends actually in the skateboard scene that just moved here the last couple of years from different countries. So yeah, that's a totally normal thing here. It's more extreme, for example, in Barcelona, I heard of. They have a way bigger scene of skateboard tourism. But you still have this in Berlin, but not on the level of Barcelona, but kind of like that.
All right, so explain this skateboarding tourism. This is the first time I have heard this on the podcast, and I would
Oh,
assume
really?
that like, well, it's weird because like, there's fingerboarding tourism, which, we're all
Yeah.
aware of, but like I don't really know too many people, maybe because I'm not a skater, but like I don't know if there's a lot of, let me know in the comments if you guys are into skateboarding tourism, but I mean like for us fingerboarders, we're going to Fast Fingers, we're going to, ASI Berlin, in the States, we're going to Rendezvous and all these other places. And so like, we'll go out as fingerboarders and do the tourism thing and go check out these spots, these events, things like that.
Mhm.
But like, I guess kind of explain like, do people is skateboarding like is it illegal to skate on these public spots? Because in America, skateboarding in public spots is kind of illegal. It'll get you in trouble.
Yeah, I know that it's not like crazy illegal or something. Like if you get kicked out, you just get kicked out. It's not like that you get a ticket or whatsoever. Like that's super, super like extremely rare. Like in Germany, like to get a ticket for skating, for example. I barely heard that like the last 20 years, like maybe like 4 or 5 times that somebody got a ticket for skating. But because like just the cops maybe show up or the securities and just like say like, yeah, can you please leave the place? Like it's not allowed to skate here. And then you just leave and that's it. You never have like any or like how I said, super rarely,
Yeah.
not never, but like super, super rarely, like some cops, they're a little bit more mad or securities, I don't know, but it's not like that. I don't know. It's not a big illegal thing, but still you get kicked out. A lot of like museums and stuff and public places and yeah, like real street spots, of course. But I don't know. It's definitely like by far not as close to any things you would experience in America by street skating. Like it's not even close. But yeah, because like it's more simple. Cops show up, you talk with them, they're all time like communicative. Like I just recently had people like from Los Angeles skating like here in Berlin, and we had to explain them how to act when the cops show up because they were like completely overacting,
hmm
either like completely run away or like directly go to the cops and try like to have like, oh yeah, it's not like I don't know, like have some weird ass arguing around about the communication. Oh, like German cops are like they most likely don't know what's up in the situation. They just come up, get out of the car, and like, hey, what's up? Can you please like tell me like what happened? And they go from there. They just want to have the fact, and they want to go from there. And they would never just like not never. Of course, like you still have racism everywhere, but um they're more logically acting. They're way better schooled that you would ever like see like in from American cops. Of course, there's like still like a lot of good cops like in America, but like you know the problems, you know, like you
Yeah.
see like in media all the time, like there's like way bigger problems there. But like here, like people are like way better schooled whatsoever and like sorted out by but German cops are different. They come up, they just want to know, they don't it doesn't mean every time that you're in big trouble just because the cops show up. Sometimes they just want to clear up the situation and then even they leave without telling you to go anywhere. They're just like, okay, now we got it. We just like noted that. And when like other bad stuff happening, we know what was the problem before, and then we can break this better down. I don't know, like they're just
No, it
more
makes
like,
a lot of sense. I wish, cops in America are definitely more like that. Because here in the, in the States, like, if you're caught skateboarding, you can get, depending on where you're at, like, what city, what state, different rules, regulations. But I mean, you'll get a ticket for like either loitering or possibly destruction of property,
yeah.
things like that. And so like, if the cops show up, it's usually never a good thing. It's usually it's either it results in tickets or just being hassled or just sucking up very long periods of your time. And so for us, like we try to avoid that at all cost.
Yeah, like in Germany, you more get than in trouble if you ignore them completely or like what they tell you. Like when they, for example, like say like, yeah, then better leave, it's all fine, and then you don't or something and act like a little kid. or whatever, then you get into trouble. But yeah, better don't. Just just be cool with the cops. It's like, okay, thank you, bye, whatever, and try later.
Yeah, I mean,
No
for
big
anybody
deal.
listening, if you're a skater and you like to travel, like get your passport, come to Europe, come to Germany. Lots of stuff to do, especially for the
Oh yeah.
skateboarders out there.
Travel around a couple of countries. It's crazy.
And that's where like I definitely want to start coming back because I've always wanted to travel to Europe and Germany was just kind of like, getting my foot wet, I guess you would say, as far as experiencing a little bit of what, the European culture and stuff is all about. But there is so much out there that, I didn't even have a chance to go see and do and experience. And I'm like, we definitely need to go back.
Fingerboarding scene, it's different here because I saw like a lot of like other countries and like, or not say countries, but like Germany, of course, like especially Germany, but like other European countries too. But like I don't know like how to say it, but I mean like people are different and like the most I don't want to say it wrong, like more like in any bad way, like more like respectfully, like a lot of stuff in fingerboarding happened here first, kind of maybe.
No, I
From
would agree with that. So that's kind of one of the things I really wanted to talk to you about is
yeah,
just like the history because when we're talking
yeah,
about fingerboarding, people are going to say, Lance Mountain probably invented, the fingerboard and all that stuff in America, which is awesome. But like, there wasn't a scene established around Lance Mountain and, fingerboarding
true.
there. I feel like the real scene, the real culture got started in Germany. And I feel like, companies like Black River kind of held, like, just led the way with that as far as developing products, obstacles, events, things like that. So I feel like the first fingerboarding events were held in Germany by Black River. But I don't have the confirmation and the history of Black River to be able to confirm that. And so whenever I'm looking, at people like you, literally been fingerboarding in Germany since you were 12. And I've watched a lot of the old YouTube videos of, Black River and Berlin Wood, and I can literally see you in the background, just a young, clean shaven kid just enjoying life. And I'm like, man, that
Yes,
is
yes,
crazy that you've been in the scene that long and consistent too. Like, I don't feel like you really left that much. And so, like, I feel like you were just part of the scene
yes.
since day one. And
Yeah.
so let's talk about 12-year-old Ramon just getting into fingerboarding. Like, what did that look like?
I don't know, but just like to come back to you, like not all the stuff like happened pretty much first in Germany. It's actually when I watch, for example, like some videos from Chris Daniels, for example, right?
Hmm.
Like he put out like a lot of or like couple of videos. They're very where we really can learn something from because like he talks more from the perspective of American fingerboarder, and he fingerboards pretty much as long as I do, and you can really see with that this pretty much happened almost simultaneously. How you say this?
Simultaneously.
How?
Simultaneously.
Simultaneously, yeah.
Yeah,
It happened simultaneously. I still can't really say it, but whatsoever.
it's
Fuck it.
okay.
And or like yeah, on the same time to break it down. It pretty much like happened on the same time. Which was bigger, I think, is like not bigger, like which is one of the facts why all this happened back then at almost the same time. It's like there was like the huge hype before that, a couple of years before that, like the late 90s with the tech decks and stuff.
Hmm.
So it got like wider spread or like more than ever before. And at the same time, like if it was in Germany with Black River and Berlin Wood, Winkler Wheels, like the big three from Germany, and then you have close-up fingerboards from
Hmm.
France that got founded like in 1999, which is pretty much like the same year like Black River does. A lot of stuff like happened there, but like what made Germany and the fingerboard scene worldwide so unique is that German companies like Black River and Berlin Wood and Winkler Wheels took what there was actually already there, like decks, wheels, and trucks and ramps, and they perfected it. They, for example, like Winkler wheels, like Martin Winkler was pretty much like the first dude, like who came up with a single bearing system that actually works. So you can ride like properly wheels with a bearing in, and it's not like slipping and anything. So, for example, like I rode the first prototypes of Winkler wheels with bearings in, maybe like in 2005, six, and then like in 2007, six, seven, eight, somewhere. I don't remember exactly anymore. They actually came then out with this lock system made by Martin Winkler. You still have like the original painting of everything like at home and everything. It's so totally crazy. And like this is his invention pretty much. Because we all the time figured out, yeah, two bearings are too big, like for the most of trucks, and so you need to come up with a single. And then like River came like in 2008, nine, like with the first professional one axle professional fingerboard truck that's like exactly like a normal skateboard truck. And then Burnhamwood in 2002, like, and I bet there were like people way before making wooden decks, I guess, like for themselves, but it was like the first handmade single deck with 5 ply, like you can like singly buy um just a deck alone that was properly made, like where was like at least like where I know it. I know that close-up fingerboards did wooden decks before in a complete. It seemed like it was like more kind of like cheap made in China or something. And the Werner wood was like made in Berlin, in Germany, high quality stuff. And this is what Germany pretty much like brought to the table. You know, like they came up over the time between like 2002 and 2009, 10 to like here you have like a perfect realistic fingerboard with bearing wheels with a one axle truck with the pivot cup system that works with like lock nuts on the trucks and like a high quality deck that's handmade, and that's pretty much that. So I hope I broke it down somehow.
I think somewhere in there you got it through.
Maybe I talk a little bit too much, but I
No,
just
I'm
was about
I'm
to
enjoying this history
like
lesson.
I
Like,
don't want to say like that Germany is like the absolute core thing, but like this is what the Germans brought to the table, say it by that.
no, that's a fair enough assumption. I mean, Germany, like I said, it's you guys have been the starting point, I feel like, for the fingerboarding scene, the fingerboarding culture, where fingerboarding really is today. I think that you guys established that, and I feel, the rest of the scene is kind of built upon it. And so, but I feel like Germany is definitely the base of, the fingerboarding scene for sure.
Definitely one of the biggest bases. Like for example, like watched once, I think a documentary about Mike Schneider from Flatface. So
Hmm.
he said like without the Germans, fingerboarding at least wouldn't be where it is right now.
I would agree with
Like
that.
it's not like that he says like, oh, like it wouldn't exist. That of course like that would be absolute bullshit because you have tech before or whatsoever.
Hmm.
But like at least like that it wouldn't be where it is right now. Or like that, and that documentation I think is already like 4 or 5 years old, but
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a strong argument, and I feel that, there's definitely some truth in that as well. I don't think anybody's really going to deny where the scene would be, if, the Germans never got involved. And so I feel like it would still be there, but it would probably be, half or even 75% smaller than it is today.
or
And
just
we'd be
like the
still
stuff
going through
like should
growing
come up
pains.
later. Yeah, I think like the stuff would just like come up a little bit later, maybe
Yeah.
like 5, 6 to 10, maybe like just 5, 6 years later, I guess, because like at the end of the day, it would be like people would be way too curious, like about like, oh, like I want to have like some proper like bearing wheel, and
Yeah.
I hate that like this little things out of the tech trucks fall out all the damn time, and I have to fix it with super, and people would have come like to some stuff at least at some point, but
Yeah,
just a
we'd
little
probably be a good 5, 10 years behind. I think that's pretty much where we'd be.
maybe.
I think that's a good perspective for sure. You came to Berlin then as a child, and so you were here when the Black River store. Right now it's the ASI store, but before it was ASI, it was the Black River store. And so,
Yes.
were you fingerboarding when the store opened, or did you start fingerboarding after the store was open?
No, like way before, way before. And I even helped a little bit, a tiny bit, to build up the store and everything like before it even opened. So like the whole Berlin scene was pretty much like involved in that because it was like an idea of TKY from Timo Kranz. He went to Black River with the idea because he didn't have money, and then they came to a conclusion and they say like, oh yeah, of course, like that makes absolute sense. Big thing, let's do it. And Black River had the money at the time, so 2010 was like the peak of the first big fingerboard hype, pretty much, or like
Mhm.
maybe the second fingerboard hype because like I think the first one was just because of Tech Tech in the 90s. And so they were like, yeah, of course, let's do it. So it's the Black River flagship store. And then in 2017, the hype went super down already since 2013, 14. It went super down, 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 and down. And they decided together like that Timo decided like, hey, I want to run it by myself as the ASI Berlin shop. And then they came to a conclusion, fine, did that. And now it's the ASI Berlin shop.
Man, so I was recently there earlier this year at the ASI Berlin shop. Has the shop changed a lot since when it was Black River as compared to it is
Yeah,
now at ASI? Like, is
yeah,
the shop look
completely.
similar? Like, I mean, tell us kind of like the
No,
differences between, the Black River store and like the ASI Berlin store.
it was like especially the when you come in the first room, it's the sales room. It's like
Hmm.
all there's all the stuff where you can buy, you have the counter, and it's completely changed. Like so when they changed it from the Black River flagship store,
Hmm.
Berlin, um, to the ASI Berlin shop, they closed down, I think, for like 2 weeks or something, and changed the inside completely. So they created like a round table with seats like where you can chill on. They created like the table with the wheels on with the spot of the
Part of
day
the day.
table.
Okay.
Where you can, yeah, like inside the table, down under the table. It's like a big case. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then there's like hundreds of ramps in it, and you can create on top of the table like every day a new spot if you like, and like couple other ramps and the shopping window, like the showcase window, it's
Hmm.
called. I don't know,
Yeah.
was completely blacked out when it was the Black River store because behind it was the counter, which was a little bit weird.
Oh,
And so when you looked from the door and the other window showcase in, you kind of saw the shop, but you couldn't even see the counter or anything, which was yeah, I don't know, little bit weird. And then now it completely changed. So the counter is directly in the front of the entrance on the other side of the room that's directly welcoming you.
hmm,
Like that makes way more sense. And then there's like, it's too much details, but it's completely
yeah.
changed. But like, and then you have like the back rooms where like all the crazy fingerboard parks in and the basement and stuff changed a little bit, but not too crazy. Then the front. The front completely changed everything got changed, every
Okay.
detail in the front and the back and the basement. Like later on, just like Harald Schön, good friend of mine, he built like a full what was it ceramic park, which is
Yeah.
super crazy, like out of the Harrier material. Like, wait,
Oh,
yeah, this stuff.
okay. Gotcha. I remember
That's
seeing a
correct.
little bit downstairs on the basement.
Yeah. So he built a whole damn park out of this stuff, which is super insane. That changed in the basement, but still having the old concrete park on the other side of the basement. But it made the basement even crazier. So like when you come in, like, and you ask the locals or the owner or whoever works there, like what is the highlight of the shop, they most likely say like back there, and definitely the basement.
Yeah.
Basement just looked insane
All
with
the
all the graffiti.
graffiti, yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say all the graffiti, all the art
insane.
is
Yeah.
insane. Like so much
Brought in
time and
already
energy.
here. That's already like a tag from Harry himself. Berlin have pretty much like one of the biggest, maybe if not the biggest graffiti scene right now worldwide. It's insane.
Well, if you're listening to the audio version, you'll definitely need to switch over to the video version because we'll definitely have some insets of all of the stuff that we're talking about here in the background and stuff. So you're definitely going to be inserts. I don't know what I said, but yeah, inserts. You were there at the Black River store. I know the Black River store had events and I think they had like tournaments and contests and stuff as well back then.
Well,
So I guess kind of tell us a little bit about the contests that they were holding.
I mean, like they every time like did kind of like little contest for the local scene pretty much to give out like some ramps or other whatever fingerboard stuff. But like to challenge the local scene, like it was full with a brand new generation of like super young kids started fingerboarding and became super good super quickly, which was like insane. Like when I try to remember, or if I remember like the old time, like on a Black River store, there were like kids just fingerboarding for like 1.5 years, 2 years, and doing all the like nollie invert heel stuff.
Yeah.
Like
When I had
after
my
one or
store, it was very frustrating to see that because for at least me and you, we basically started fingerboarding around the same time. And so the tech deck days when those launched, like the progression for fingerboarding tricks was so slow. And then you have
yeah,
new kids coming in and they're doing heel flips in 6 weeks, like 6 weeks, 6 months, like very short periods of time, like stuff that took me years to figure out. They're just like in a few
yeah,
months,
yeah.
they're doing it.
Uh, Yeah, well, which was super funny because like we all know because like the kid generation from back then from the Black River store, there's like still like 60-70% of them are still or again back into fingerboarding and come around and the ace I, and now these guys are like 25 years old or a little bit older or a little bit
Mhm.
younger, but like around the 20s, from beginning 20s to late 20s, and which is like super fun. Like they like still good friends, good homies, and like they all know like yeah, there was like 3, 4 guys back then that were able like to nollie invert heel, which is like one of the hardest flat tricks ever.
Mhm.
But then if you play a game of skate with them, you do like for example like a fakey tray flip or like basic stuff, like fakey flip, some fakey stuff, some regular stuff, they fail all day long because like they just directly try to learn like nollie heel, nollie invert heel, switch invert heel, like all the hard stuff because they
Mhm.
were like, oh, that looks so sick. I have to learn this. Like the same as skater kids start skating and immediately try to get a super steez tray flip, with a skateboard. It's pretty much like the same because like they see like, oh, steezy tray flip on Instagram. I want to learn that. And
Mhm.
then it was pretty much the same like with the
That's all they
fingerboard kids.
got. Yeah.
Fingerboard kids was like, oh yeah, like Ramon, Harry, or this guy, or blah blah. Like the older guys, they all can't nollie invert heel, but nollie invert heel is so fucking hard, and they learn it in like 2 years or some or 1.5 years directly, and yeah. But that was like pretty fun, like. And so to come back like to your original question, about like the contest and everything, there was so much going on pretty much. So they had little contests for the young generation. Sometimes I hosted it, sometimes I competed it because sometimes the kids wanted to have like a bigger challenge, like, oh yeah, let's get Ramon into it or Dimitri Schlotthauer or like whenever some older guy like was there, like who fingerboards better, longer, whatever, more experience. And then what they often do and still do in the ASI shop, I mean, all of this stuff they still do like in the ASI shop, but it's like when there's like a bigger event, like Fast Fingers, or back then there was like Battle at the Herrick's, they did kind of like pre-events. Because, for example, when it's Fast Fingers, they know, same as you came for Fast Fingers, you landed in Berlin, right?
Mhm.
Or like it makes then absolutely sense because like we know that I don't know 60% of people coming to Fast Fingers landing first in Berlin and then drive down with train, bus, whatsoever. So at a Thursday, Friday, before people go down to Bavaria to Schwarzenbach for the Fast Fingers, let's have a bunch of fun here at the ASI shop because like there's now like the house is damn full, so why
Yeah.
not having some fun and making some event? And when there was a big contest like Battle of the Herricks or the ASI contest itself, which was held in a different location every time, so more people can fit in, and you have a stage and whatsoever. Of course, the day before and the day after was like party contest before, warming up sessions, contest, whatever. So and this pretty much like more the soul and idea from TKY. It's pretty much like this dude is more like, yeah, let's do this and this and this and this. And that comes more from him than from anything else.
Low key, like he seems like a party animal. Like I can
Oh
only
yeah.
imagine Timo 10 years ago, Timo,
Yeah.
like because right now, like, he's matured, he's a dad, he's doing the grown up like responsibilities. But like I feel like Timo back in the day would have been a really like just cool, fun dude to hang out with.
Oh yeah, of course. Like he's a party dude. Like still, like it's crazy. Like he's in, let's say like he's over 40. I don't know if I get any trouble for that, but um, yeah, and he's still down for like party. Like he loves like to make party just like at the shop. I have, for example, one of my best friends, Kite, aka DJ Kite. Like he's a DJ most known like to play like drum bass and stuff. And so he often just played directly, like had a turntable inside the shop at the showcase window, like at the shopping window, and it's just standing there, stretches, playing music, whatsoever. And then like in the back room somewhere, there were like some homies, like you could get a tattoo while there was like a party and stuff.
That's
And
wild. I
people
love
like
it.
outside drinking beer, smoking weed, whatever. Yeah, loud music, dancing inside. That's pretty much like the spirit of the whole shop, I guess. Or like
Oh
one of
man,
the
that's
things that's like pretty much unique, like for a fingerboard shop to. And then sometimes like it was not, or how I say it, it was pretty normal that at evenings like this, like people go home around like 4 to 6 in the morning or something, like when the sun come up again or something, like party hall of the night. But it's like normal for Berlin too. So
yeah. Well, I feel like that's just the big city vibes in general. Like if you go to like Chicago or New York City or something like that, them Miami like partying all night until the morning, it seems like, normal nighttime activities
yeah.
for sure. So
Yeah, I mean, like, and Berlin have pretty much like one of the biggest like party scene in the world.
that's what I heard
So,
too. I'm married now, so I couldn't get into anything like that. But 10 years ago, Levine probably could have.
Past Levine
I
was
know.
poor.
When did Black River add you onto their team?
I actually remember because it was all happening like in a kind of like situation. So there was the ASI Berlin was a team, pretty much a fingerboard team before the shop and everything. But this is the reason why
Oh,
Timo like called it the ASI Berlin shop, because we all the time, all the years had like our own like Berlin fingerboard team called the ASI Berlin. And so Timo made already before that, all the years before the shop, just a contest, the same as Fast Fingers, like so the same type of contest. So you have a run, then like the next round is like best trick, final is game of skate on the park, and so on, blah blah blah. And at the ASI number 4, after the whole contest, I had a session together with Martin Ehrenberger, which is like the founder of Black River. Like we knew before from seeing and talking, blah blah. And then we had like just just it was just like us both alone at the park at a G8 or something, or G7 park, Black River Park, and we sessioned for 1.5 hours together. And I was like, in my head, I was 18, maybe 18 years old, and maybe 17, I don't know. And I was like, I'm broke, I don't have money, and I need as much like sponsors, like kind of not as possible, but like to that, like I get trucks, I get wheels, maybe a couple of ramps, whatsoever, because like I'm too broke for any hobby. So I was like, I need some whatsoever. And then I knew like Morten was kind of stoked about like my fingerboarding. He gave me just like props after props and was super hype. Was like, yo, crazy trick, whatsoever, blah blah. After sessioning and then I was like, okay. I was like super nervous, and then I asked him like, hey yo, by the way, what about like sponsoring and like, do you would you be down for that and whatsoever? And then he just looked into my eyes and said, yeah, like, do you have an email address? And I was like, yep. Like, okay, here's mine, write me a wish list. And I'm like, yeah, like what you want to have of stuff. I was like, what? Like he didn't even like say like yes or no. He was just like, yep, there's my email. Just email me a wish list. Just don't go too crazy, but and I was
Hmm.
like sending him a wish list of like a couple of maybe some I don't know if it was like trucks already invented by Black River at that point, but yeah, at least like I put down definitely some stuff and some ramps or whatsoever. And from that, after that, I was in a flow team. So he said like you first get like your wish list. I send it to you for free, everything, don't care, whatever. Like I support you. And then from there, I was for like 5 years maybe. They had a flow team, and then you just paid or you got a discount of like 40% of everything or something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
And my broke ass definitely never ordered anything. I just waited and wishing like I hope like over some time like like you get like in a bigger team, and then like they kind of like canceled at some point like they wanted to tied up everything, so then they canceled the flow team and just picked everyone in a flow team who was active, who was good, who was like pretty much like proved himself. And then they put everything together in one team. And from that point, like it was more like, yeah, like whenever you need stuff, let us know. And then stuff like this. But I got like my most sponsors I got before that moment. Like all the other sponsors, like Wood, FBS, and Flatface was the only one that came after that.
Okay. I didn't know you're on the flat face team.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Right
if you
on.
watch like the Infamous montage and Flatface T montage and stuff,
Hmm.
you will find some parts of mine, definitely the latest ones.
I'm at the rewatch the tapes for sure. Interesting. That's a wild story of how you got sponsored and man. So what is it? I mean, you are living the dream for so many fingerboarders. Like everybody wants to be on the Black River team and being sponsored
Mm.
by Black River. So like tell us the feeling. What is it like? What does that entail? Like, I mean, give us the day in the life as like Ramon, the Black River team rider.
Um, I think people sometimes or like often interpret a lot of stuff into things they don't know about. So they think like some stuff, oh, that's the best thing that you can happen to you in the scene whatsoever. And of course, it is definitely one of the best things that can happen to you. But still, I think people have a lot of fantasy putting into like what it would be like.
Yeah,
Um,
more like an actual versus theoretical kind of a situation.
yeah,
Because
like
like
he,
we all
he
have visions, but we don't actually really know what that means, what that looks like.
Yeah, so the reality every time is completely different than from what you ever would think of. So, of course, Black River means like you have a ton shit of support. If it's like media, if it's of course like all the stuff you can get, the ramps and stuff, and but it like doesn't matter what sponsor you have, pretty much. I would say from my experience, it's a lot about yourself too. So as more you put into whatever, if as more you put out into the world, like 2%, like you are on events, you making a lot of videos, you post a lot like on Instagram, you show up, you do a lot of stuff, you're really, really active. Then of course, like you get way more like from your sponsors, like doesn't matter what company you're in, or like it's a more like a homie situation where like the founder or owner of that company, if it's Wood, Black River, Flatface, whatsoever, you're like a really, really good friend with them and see them often, that's a different story too. So because fingerboarding is more like a big family thing, and if you are not in a position that you see the owners or founders really, really often and you super down, they might sponsor you because like you're very, very active in the scene. So for example, if you are a team member, which is not so crazy active and don't see the founders or like the guys like who make the companies at all or really barely, um, you may be still on the team, but you're not gonna receive so much stuff, for example, or like you're not like in a position too much, maybe to say like, oh yeah, can you send me this and this stuff, but then never give something back. It's every time like let's do something cool together, like so it's a win-win situation. But like to have a win-win situation when one side makes nothing, of course, like then there's no win-win anymore. So, and I don't know, maybe I get like too deep into it, but like, I think a lot of stuff like I got in the fingerboarding, having like the where people look from the outside on it and they're like, oh wow, like he writes for this, he gets this, like he's every time like having all the information and he posts already about this or whatever it is. It's like easily 80-90% of all of this is because how you said before, like I never stopped. I never had a big break in fingerboarding. Every time like I deliver. But it's not like because I think I want to have that situation that like I get a lot from sponsors or whatsoever. I don't do it like for the stuff or for only the attention. It's still, and this is what I am super lucky about, where I'm super, super happy and proud for myself that it's still so much fun. Like it's so much, and I never thought about like that. It's not a hobby, it's a passion. It's something where I can fulfill myself. That after 23 years, or maybe even a little bit longer right now, it's still so much fun. Like I still learn new stuff. The stuff with the self-filming, we come later more into that and whatsoever. And like I rediscovered a lot of sides of the whole thing that it might be never got me bored in my whole damn life.
I feel like a lot of us feel that way. I feel that way especially because I mean, like this passion, this fingerboarding is like there is no dull moments simply because of all of the people that you meet, the events that you go to. I mean, we're talking just like you have so much that's going on within fingerboarding, but like everything that surrounds fingerboarding is just as nice. And so like whether you're fingerboarding by yourself or you're having, session nights with the boys or whatever, and like you got that camaraderie. And so, like, even if you're not fingerboarding, you're probably still hanging out with those friends doing other stuff as well. And so
Yeah.
it's just like, hey, this band's coming into town. We've been fingerboarding buddies for a while. Like, I know you're into that band. Let's go check it out. And so, like, there's just so many things that can stem off of just fingerboarding by itself. And it's an awesome thing.
Yeah, like and to come back like to actually your original question to break this down. I think a lot of young people in fingerboarding think like, oh, like riding from Black River, that's the craziest shit like I could imagine because like I can get a lot of stuff, like wheels, trucks, ramps, whatsoever. But like when you do it like only because of the stuff, I don't know like if your passion is that big, like or like if is it I don't think like your passion then is so much just like about doing it. It's more about like consuming and having
Yeah. Some
and what's
people
that.
are into fingerboarding for the wrong reasons. And so some people are fingerboarding just to try to get good so that they can get sponsored and get free stuff. And
Yeah,
so, for those people,
more superficial.
yeah. And so I feel like, if you're really wanting to get sponsored, you're really wanting to go that route, like you've got to have passion. You got to be able to, if you're willing to do it for free, then you're one of the people that should be sponsored.
Yeah. And which is a good thing about like having a good and big sponsor who can give you like a lot of stuff whatsoever whenever you need it. That which is even more important, for example, in skateboarding. That you never stop involving and you never are forced to have to wait for equipment you need for doing it. Like so that really like would give you a break in the moment of learning new stuff or whatsoever and like evolving your skills. And of course, if you don't have that breaks because you have to wait for a paycheck to buy new trucks, wheel stack, whatever, to keep doing it, or like with skating, even with shoes and clothes and whatsoever, there even comes more and more and more to it. So this is more like why you need a sponsor, because like you don't have like big breaks and evolving and getting deeper and better in what you're doing. On the other side, this is not the main thing you should think about, of course, too, because like you don't evolve or get better because you want to evolve and get better. You just do it because it's so damn fun. It's not like feeding your ego. It's just like you're more going after new experiences. And every new combo, new type of trick, maybe a new spot, a different surrounding, whatever, that makes it harder or not so easy whatsoever. Um, just gives you like a completely new thing about it, and that makes shit ton of fun. And that's more the thing that the evolving and getting better is more the fun part, and not like because your ego says like get better because like you have to be the best whatever. I don't know, like that's not what it's about. It's more about like that this experience is fun as hell.
No, I agree. I love it. Speaking of being the best, you are a multi Fast Fingers world champion. Let's talk about the first Fast Fingers that you ever won. Which one, do you remember which one that was? I remember you won the last two, but I don't know the history of how far back you being
Oh, I
like,
didn't want before that. I didn't want before. It was just like the last two ones, but it was the Fast Fingers Online in
mhm,
2022. And now, like, how long is it ago? Like 2 months or
two
like two
months,
and a
something like
half
that.
months?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Fast Fingers from this year. So, but what it is like, Fast Fingers Online got never marketed as a world championship, pretty much. If you look, for example, like on the flyer of the contest, it just says Fast Fingers Online
I
and not like
remember
Fast
that. So that's good to be able
Championship.
to differentiate that because they've always been branded as like, the world championships. And so the one, this is during COVID too, by the way, for people
Yeah, that's why they
who,
did it.
yeah, they did it online mainly because of all the COVID restrictions. Being able to travel and get everybody in one place during COVID is an absolute logistical nightmare. And so they
Yeah.
did the Fast Fingers online. And I mean, I don't know how many clips were submitted. There was just a whole lot of clips that were submitted.
Was
And
between like four, 500, something like this.
yeah, that's a lot. And for you to rise to the top of all of those clips and be awarded the winner is absolutely wild. Kind of tell us about that. Do you remember the combo, the three line that you had?
Yeah, so the rules were that you have to do like four tricks slash combos uh in a row as a line. It have to be outside in the streets. Don't change the spot up. You only can use one obstacle, I think, if you want to, but that definitely gives you like less points. And so it was like four combos in a row, pretty much. So I did it was like a double edge thing. So I start like in the bank with a fakey tray flip, nose mani, going back down like the double thing, and then back into the next bank out of the nose mani, a nollie heel, then a frontside Smith frontside big spin out, and a bank flat, I don't know, downhill,
Yeah,
fakey big spin flip. And at the end, what was it?
I can't
Damn, what was
remember,
it?
but I'm pretty sure I'll end up putting the clip probably right above us. If you're listening to this on the audio, definitely switch back over to the video and check it out. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
you killed that.
but it's weird like that I don't remember like what I did as a last trick.
You slept a lot since then. I mean, either way, I mean that clip was a banger. It was well deserved.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was more like I I landed it in like the first 40 minutes figuring out like being on the spot, starting record, but then like the first 20 minutes filming, I changed up the line a lot and was like, no, this works better, this looks better, or this is easier, whatever. And then took maybe like another actual 15 to 20 minutes like to land it. Then I had it, and then I was even unhappy with it and I was like, oh, I could go more close. I could film it better. I could do the nollie heel out of the nose mani better and blah blah blah. So I went back the next whole week, like was like 4 days in 1 week. I tried to film it better and I not even landed it once more again.
That's tough. Just doing
Like
battle
I
like
was
that.
like, I
Yeah.
want to do it better, and I got back and I put so much hours into just make it better and not even landed it once more. And it was like, okay, seems like that's have to be the line. So I take it. Yeah, I tried.
All right. Well, let's talk about this year, 2024 Fast Fingers.
Mhm.
Tell us just the experience of going to Fast Fingers, competing, and then making it to the finals, and then eventually winning the park skate. Like, kind of walk us through that entire experience as the world
What again?
champion.
Sorry, I just quickly like zoned out. My ADD kicked.
It's okay. So, everybody dreams of basically being good enough to go to Fast Fingers, compete, and to win. Kind of walk us through the experience of going to Fast Fingers, competing, watching other people also competing,
Mhm.
getting into the finals, and then winning. Kind of walk us through that whole process.
Um, so I go like to, or I've been to contests a lot when I was super, super young in fingerboarding already. So I collected the most of my experience back then already, I think so. And all the time, all the last like, I don't know, 15, 20 years, or like the last like 18 to 15 years, I understood already how this shit works. Kind of like what do you have to do? Um, to win a contest, you know? Like because it's every time like you have a run, then you have a quarter or whatever half final with the best trick, and then you have the final most likely game of skate um, at the park in the line or whatever or single tricks depends on the contest. So, but it's pretty much what it is on Fast Fingers. So all the time like knew like what to do. It was not so hard like to figure that out, which is way more harder and intense to figure out like how you can manage to actually win. It's not the skills, it's more like what you do with your ego, with your brain, with yourself. It's all up here. So first up, like to put like the cards on the table and to say like I want to win some big contest or get world champion, you have to know already that's your ego. That's all about the damn ego, which is don't have to be a negative or bad thing, not at all. Like for myself, I every time like love like to be as healthy as possible with my ego because I know I have still a big ego, you know? And I'm aware of it, and I try to be as self-reflecting with it as possible because only with that, like you can keep it healthy, but still go down and like go to a contest and like world championships. Say like I want to win it. Like it is what it is. So I think everybody have to figure out their own technique to get not too nervous. Getting too nervous is maybe the biggest killer in a fingerboard contest. So it's a big ass mental game more than it is like a question of skill.
I noticed that a lot. We host a lot of contests and stuff here in the States. There's basically a thing called I like to call being contest ready. And so
Yeah.
the biggest thing that I saw at Fast Fingers was that half of the competitors were not contest ready. Like they're all really, really good. They're all great fingerboarders. They can go on the
Hmm.
kitchen table and they can produce some fire clips, tricks, combos, all that stuff. But being in
Exactly.
front of a room of five, six, 700 people, cameras out, phones out, everybody's watching, you're in
Everything
the
will be
middle.
different.
Yeah. I mean, people were literally shaking like leaves and stuff. And so being contest ready, being able to kill those anxiety, being like right mentally and being able to zone all that out. I mean, that's a huge portion of being a competitor. Yeah, but
Um,
being contest ready is definitely something that people will need to start focusing on if they want to, move into the competing sphere.
yeah, definitely. Like for myself, and I talked about like other friends of mine who thought about like, yeah, like I really want to win this once. It's just like a once in a lifetime. Like at least I want to win it once. And then I talked with the homies like a lot about it, and I was like, it's a lot of you wake up the day, and the moment you wake up, the first hour, you know already if it's the right day or not.
Just
Sometimes you
based off
can't
of
predict.
how you're feeling.
Huh? Yeah, yeah.
Because
Like how confident you are. Is it just like the right day? Like sometimes you just can be like super unlucky. Unlucky. You wake up and you just feel like, dude, I don't feel it at all. Like I fingerboarded so much. I try to prepare like my mental state about that so much. But then you wake up that exact day and you're like, nope, not gonna be it. And I don't know like what it is exactly. It's maybe like a kind of like way of confidence or something, because like confidence is definitely like the biggest thing that or like the most important thing pretty much, like so what I did before, like the weeks before even, I told myself and even told my friends, I know it sounds super corny and cheesy and whatsoever, but I was like, I want to win that shit because I just wanted to pick it up once at Alive and like say like I got it. I just like said and I told all my friends like, yo, I know that sounds weird as hell, and I know like it sounds like super, I don't know, egoistic or I don't know, like whatever you want to interpret into this. But like I have to do it because like if I don't have the confidence that day. Like if I tell the next week's like every damn day I gonna make it and there's no question about it, then you might well do it. And this time it worked out pretty well. So
yeah, I think as a competitor in any, sport, anything that deals with competition, you've got to have that ego, that confidence that basically says, I'm a winner, I'm the best, and I'm going to win this. Like LeBron James, Lionel Messi, I mean, any of these big, like, sports superstars, they don't walk onto the court or the field thinking like, well, maybe I'm second best today. Like, no, like they got that aura where they know that like they're gonna do very, very well. Like they're the best. Like they're coming out with their A game. Like mentally, they've got to be in the
yeah,
zone. I feel like, fingerboarding really isn't that much different, and you got to pretty much approach it the exact same way. Like you have to pretty much go to that park and just be like, I'm gonna kill this trick. Like I'm gonna get this combo.
yeah.
Like this is all me.
Pretty much. I mean, like, I wish it didn't had to be like that sometimes, but if it is what it is, you just like take it. And like, which is super important that like after everything is gone and you maybe made it, like, dude, then chill the heck out, like it's
Yeah.
all good. Like don't keep that at a moment where I won, I was like, oh, finally it's done. I'm just like,
I saw that too. Like I
like the
saw
relief.
like this
Yeah, and I
alter
was like, now
ego
I don't have.
Ramon like out there, and then as soon as you hit that last letter, got that last letter on him, like just that sigh of relief just washed over your entire body, and you're just like, I did
Yeah.
it. Like it's over.
Yeah, yeah, it's over. I finally can be me again. It's more like the whole day I was like, okay, like I have to need this I hate the word mindset, but
You got to get
it's
the good
like
vibes
but
back.
kind of yeah, like the mindset that like you don't have to think you are the best. I think this is even wrong. You have to think that at that day, just at the day, you're unbeatable.
I
It's
like
not
that.
like that you're like, oh, I'm the best. No, you're not, because like at the end, there's every time someone who is better than you at some moment, and it's not about that. It's more like whoever shows up at the contest, and you just have to think, no one of those can beat me today. That's more like the thing that you like, and like if you watch the footage, maybe I don't know if we have some footage of that, but like I was so in the like this in the
Yeah, you're in the
focus,
zone.
and I
Yeah.
was like looking mad at everyone, like because like in my mind I was like I used the emotion to be angry and that I'm unbeatable to stay focused. And that worked so damn well for me. I might gonna use this later on too, like in any contest, like
That's
where I
the
think
Super
like I
Saiyan in you right
mastered.
there.
It's what?
That's the Super Saiyan in you right there.
It's that's the Kamehameha.
Yeah. To go Super
Yeah.
Saiyan, you have to come from a place of anger, which is interesting. So yeah,
Oh,
you're the
whoa! I totally forget that. That's actually a good point. But yeah, but then you have to control it.
exactly,
You have
exactly.
to take it and control it, and that's pretty much like what it. That's exactly what it was.
Hmm.
Like I understood it, and then in my head I was like, okay, like nobody can fuck me today. Like it's not possible. Like impossible. And just like keep thinking like that, but be aware of this is just a tool that I use. And this is why I was so happy when it was over because like I knew the last couple of hours I was an asshole. Like I was like, you know, like to break it down pretty much. But it is what it is. But you just use it. You don't be it, you just use it. That's everything.
Man, all right. So Fast Fingers is done every other year, if I'm not mistaken.
I think every 2 years,
Yeah, every year,
basically.
every 2 years. Yeah. So this is what's happening with USAFBL. Next year,
Mm.
2025, we're hosting 4 regional events where people get qualified and they get invited to go to these regional events to compete. And then if they do very well at these regional events, then they will get invited to go to our big national event in 2025.
Ah, nice. That's
And
good.
what we are going to be doing is in 2025, the winners from Game of Skate, Best Run Street, and Best Trick Street at Nationals, we're going to be paying their way to go to Fast Fingers 23. So, Fast Fingers 23, we're going to be bringing America's best fingerboarders to that contest, and they're going to do battle against you, Ramon. It's going to be on. I feel like
Nice.
America was very underrepresented at the Fast Fingers event, and
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie, Ramon, you're good, but I feel like we might have a couple people over here that can give you a run for your money.
Oh yeah, I'm down. Like for any experience like you can give me with it, like to bring like new people like into it, like new talents. And I am completely aware of that at some point, like there will every time like be someone else like who's better than you, and which is completely fine because like it maybe seems like it, but it is like not all about what I am about, like it's not like that I'm a guy like who just want to be the best and whatsoever. Like, actually, I don't care about it too much, to be honest. But for example, like this year especially, I was like, okay, I just want to prove it to myself, prove it to everyone else, whatsoever. Just like to have it once, like the real Fast Fingers event, like at least once, at least once. Like, of course, like if I can do it like again, I can try again, like if I feel right. But I don't care too much about it anymore then.
Well, you've
So
already achieved your success.
yeah,
I mean, you're a
yeah.
legend, you're a winner. Your nameplate is going to be on the trophy. Speaking of the
Yep.
trophy, do you get to keep the trophy for the 2 years, or is it being held at Black River?
No, it's held up Black River. Like you can choose by yourself because like it's a heavy ass thing. It's like I don't know like how much pounds that is, but like it's easily 15 to 20 kilograms. And
Oh, that's a
it's
heavy,
damn
yeah.
tall. Like it's made out of like one piece of one massive piece of wood, and it's
Just,
crazy and like
huh.
super old thing. And so it's I don't know like in German you call it like a it's kind of like a word that's randoring. So I don't know like how to say it, but for example, like if you take it home,
Uh-huh.
you have to bring it back the next time. And
Right.
when
So
some
it's not a traveling trophy?
yeah, like a traveling trophy, yeah.
Okay.
But I got a 3D printed version
Oh, no
in
way.
my winning bag, and it's 3D printed by Timo Lieben, like a small version of it.
Oh, that's cool as
Yeah.
hell. And you got all the nameplates too. That's cool as hell.
I mean, like it's not the names on, but at
Yeah, but I
least
mean, it's
like
got the
looks
spots
like it,
for
you
them.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. And yeah, 3D, and I have it at home. That's cool. Thanks, Timo Lieben,
that's
big brother.
awesome.
Yeah, love this dude.
Man, all right. So let's talk about the fun side of fingerboarding. Let's talk about Raw Mondays.
No,
Let's get out of the
Ramonte.
competition spirit. Let's talk about Raw Mondays. So explain to us like what it is and like how you got inspired to start that.
I know, like I started doing this when I was working for the Ace Eye Shop. Like I was, by the way, I was working for the Ace Eye Shop from 2018, 19 around until 2021. So like around like 3 years, maybe three and a half. And in that time, like I tried like, or like Timo wanted me to do some um a, a video post on Instagram at least like once a week, you know? And then one of my best friends, like I mentioned already, like who DJ'd there a lot, like DJ Kite, my homie Kite. Um, he's a really good guy, like in word playing, finding good wordplays, and he came up with the idea of like the hashtag Ramon Day because like it's Monday, Ramon, pretty easy, and then we were like, yeah, that's perfect. So I did it like since 2019. Yeah, this is where the name came from and the main thing. And but anyways, then later when I stopped working for ASI, I still love to do it, or like you still love to film yourself because it's possible, just because it's possible, and because we have smartphones now, and this is something I didn't have back then. And back then, like I filmed a lot with Harald Schön, aka the Dirty Harry, on YouTube, uh, which was like the first reason, pretty much like the first phase I had filming a lot, like shit ton of videos, like maybe almost 100 videos only with him together. I felt in love with the making of this form of art pretty much. I see it more as art, same as skate videos. It's a form of art and a part of the whole culture of skateboarding, you know. So, and Harry didn't have like the motivation anymore and was a bit discouraged and stopped filming around like 2013, 14. And in that time period, you barely have any footage from me after that. It just like comes up, there's maybe like 2015 and 2016 part, and that's it. And in between that, like 2013 and that, there's barely anything. And then Instagram came up. A friend of mine talked me over to get Instagram. First, I was like super skeptical. I was like, hell no. I don't want to go with the hype whatsoever. Same as later with TikTok, pretty much.
Yeah.
And in between that, I got my first smartphone. I figured out, oh, I can actually film myself. It's not too bad. And over the time, the smartphones got better and better, better and better, and like super crazy. And then you can even put a fisheye on it, and I use it. And not every time, but you know. And for me, it's more like the use it as a tool to keep doing this amazing thing of the art of filming skating, even if it's with your fingers. And it made me have a possibility to live out my visions because like when I, for example, when I listen to a special song that gives me special emotions and it fits into this category. Wow, this is a song perfect for video part. And I listen to a song, it already gives me the vision of the video part. Like this is
Kind of
how
like
my
skateboarding, because it's like all the skateboarding parts, I feel like they pick the song first and then they pick tricks and scenes and spots to match the song.
this is how the best parts in history, like not every of them, but the most got formed like this. And
Hmm.
to end this, the whole question is like, then at some point in, when was it? Like, I think the ending of 2021 or 2022, I thought to myself, I understood how social media works and what social media wants from you. It's like to be, how you say, yeah, it's how to be consistent. And then I said, like, oh, you know what? Like, let's see what happens when I post every damn Monday, like every Monday. And now I still do it like for 2.5 years straight. I didn't miss out any Monday. Maybe just couple I uploaded a Tuesday because I was missing out a little bit or had some other technical issues with Instagram. Yeah, which is a really bad program. Yeah, sometimes it's like, yo, it's full with bugs, dude. Like, what the hell? But yeah, whatsoever. But I just did it, and I think about maybe like to take a little break from that for a couple of weeks, the next couple of weeks. But I will do like a more exact announcement about that, like on my Instagram the next days, I guess.
Okay. In the fingerboarding space, I feel like you are an official celebrity. And I say celebrity because I don't know any other fingerboarders who have been a special guest at an event. So Six Gates last year flew you out VIP style, and
Yeah.
you were a special guest at his fingerboarding event. And for me, and I was looking at this and I'm like, Ramon's a rock star, like, having public appearances and, being invited and flown out to all these events and stuff like that. I'm like, that's celebrity status. And I don't think that that is a very common thing that's going on in our industry. And so I'm like, you're one of the first people that I know of that are, being flown out to events and things like that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you're a celebrity, bro. Like you did it.
Thank you. But
By
yeah,
the
it
way, that's a
feels great.
bottle of water for those who are wondering.
Yeah, yeah, for the only audio listeners, just had a sip of water.
But they
Um,
look like vodka bottles. It's so wild.
does it?
In
Just
America, that looks like a vodka bottle or a bottle of wine or something like that. That's what they come in. That's crazy.
just water. But
It,
whatsoever, yeah, it definitely feel crazy, and unusual, of course, but like it's a crazy feeling that I don't know, people are down like to do that. And last year was it in 2023, and it was like even twice that year. It was like once, like at first it was like for an event in London. I got flew in by friend and from Axorams, from Paolo
oh,
Mililo and Simone, with the help from Frank from Curious, for an event at what's called Hopkins or something.
I think you're right.
Hopkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, this one they had a fingerboard event because like they rebuilt like the whole mini skate hall they have as a fingerboard park, and to open it like they want to have me there. And yeah, and then just like I think 2 weeks later or like 1.5 weeks later, I flew to Toronto to Canada, but this was like longer planned. Like London was more spontaneous, and Canada was like longer planned because like of course like it's way more pricey flight. You have to book earlier, you have to plan it more in advance and whatever.
Mhm.
So it was like by Vito. Vito is such a lovely dude. Like
I love
he's
him.
so down
Yeah,
and
he's a
he's
good dude.
so invented into the scene and really want to do like a lot of like cool stuff and doing like the six skate shop there. So huge shout out to him. Like now we really good friends. Like sometimes we just like DM each other. He asked me like, oh, just like, hey yo, brother, what's up? I just want to like see how you doing, whatever.
Yeah.
He was like on Fast Fingers. He was before Fast Fingers in Berlin a couple of days before, so we had some time and could chill together. And yeah, just like all over, like super lovely dude. And he gave me like a place at his secondary house back then last year, and so on. Like he really like took care. And then like I really felt like
Family.
what the heck is happening, because
Yeah.
like he was so lovely. Like the second day we went like to his house and he invited like all the homies from the scene to have a barbecue to meet me as a welcome for me. It was like,
That's
what the
awesome.
heck? Like,
Yeah, that's awesome.
yo. It was like the first time like I met Sid
Oh,
Vicious,
Vicious 274 or something like that. I know
something
who you're
like
talking
this,
about. Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
most known for like the two fingers.
Hmm.
No, other this like two fingers, peace.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was riding with this dude already like 12 years ago over Facebook and stuff. And it was like the first time we met each other. And it was like, okay, yeah, like we were like directly good homies, like same humor, just talking funny bullshit, laughing about like stupid stuff. Yeah, having like good sense of humanity and whatsoever. So this I had, and then like the all welcoming, and then like for me, it's really emotional. Or when it been really emotional for me. Either it was like London or Toronto, but Toronto was like more people definitely, maybe like even like twice or three times more people than in London.
Toronto
Um,
is so heavily popular. The
yeah,
first time I went to Toronto, I thought that all the skyscrapers were like business buildings. And then you
Mm.
realize that like all of these skyscrapers are nothing but apartment complexes. And
Oh
then it
wow,
got
I didn't knew that.
real fast because you're just like, it is crazy huge. And
Hmm.
for people that don't understand like how populated Toronto is, if Toronto was an American city, it would be the second largest American city behind New York.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's proper.
it's crazy.
But yeah, what I want to say, like at the end, or like of this thing, um, about like being Toronto and everything. It was super emotionally for me, like at the end, like to realize that there are people coming to an event just like to see me. There were like people say like, yeah, like we went last year and we didn't plan like to come this year, but then like they announced that you would come, and then we were like, okay, fuck it, we go to Toronto anyway. They drove like sometimes 10 hours with the damn car and everything. Like just like because they figured out, oh, like it's Ramon coming, like then we have to go there.
That's what I'm
And
saying, brother. That's celebrity status right there. That's rock
yeah,
star
but like
status.
I really super appreciate that. And for me, like that's not a normal thing at all. Like because at the end of the day, like I'm still it's just fingerboarding at the end. And it can be like a big thing, of course, at some parts, but I'm still just like not a human being, you know? Like
No, it's
so
hard
like
seeing
that
yourself
feels
at
like
that light.
yeah, like I try like to keep how I said like already with the contest, I try to keep my ego as healthy as possible. And every time like when people they're like really like my stuff, kind of like fans or something, you could say, they want to have a picture and an autograph and maybe a chat. I every time like take my damn time because I value that so much because I know that they want to know stuff. And every time at the end, I talk like with them maybe 10 minutes when I have the time, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes. After they ask me for a picture or whatsoever, because like it's a time, it's not like thousands of people, it's maybe like 50, 60 people. Like that's fine. I have time and I can take it for you. And then every time, like at the end, like after the conversation, they said like, "Yo, you're just like another super chill dude at the end, you know, like you." And then yeah, because like I want to show them that just like at the end, doesn't matter what you do if you good fingerboarder or like you want to compare it to like musicians or actors or whatsoever. At the end, we all just human. We just are sometimes really good at doing something we're passionate about. And I just like to share the passion with them too, of course. And at the same time, just showing that, yo, everyone's just a human. Human is human, and it's all good. And that gives me like a better way, like to understand everything better, you know, like and keep my ego more healthy. That I know, like, okay, I made sure like these people know I'm just another chill homie. That's it.
Yeah, I feel like that means a lot to people too when you take the time out to, take pictures, talk to them, sign stuff like that. That means the world to a lot of them.
Oh yeah, it does. They're really, really thankful every time, or most of the time, and I'm really thankful for them too. Like I tell them, like, yo, thank you so much, like to give me so much kind of like, I don't know, whatever you want to feed it. Like if it's love, if it's passion, sharing the passion together, you know. I just want to hug the people and give them like, you know, a good feeling and like share like because like I'm full with love and I love to share passion and love. This is like what life is about, you know, and rather than like acting cool and mysterious and I don't know, you know, like I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
feel it. It's just like super weird for me and yeah, maybe like feeding an unhealthy part of your ego, maybe. So I don't know.
No, I hear you. I understand that for sure. All right, so on Instagram, you launched, I wouldn't say launched, but you released some decks that you've been working on about a few months ago.
Hmm.
Are you moving into the deck making sphere? Like, kind of tell us what's going on with that. Like, you released a fingerboarding deck,
Yeah.
and it's a high gloss, looks super like just candy paint. Like, it looks wet, even though it's
Yeah.
dry. Like, it looks gorgeous.
Thank you. Yeah, like this was more like just like a by the way. not a yeah, maybe a project, but it was just like a way for me like to show the scene what I do besides of just riding the fingerboard and filming. I because I don't have like a diagnosis about it, but I bet I have some autism spectrum going on in my brain. So 2013, I get my Berlin Woods as a square, and I shape him by myself already since like 11 years now. And I perfected it for myself, like for my own needs, pretty much, like how I like to be a board to be shaped. Because like every time, like I don't know, like sometimes the tail was a little bit too narrow for me at some point, or the nose was too long or too small, and I just saying I'm maybe a little bit too autistic for that, and I need like every damn deck have to be perfect, be like perfect for me, not perfect for like that's not perfect for everyone. It's just perfect for me then, you know. And yeah, I just want to show it more less than put out in the world like, hey, you can buy some decks from me. It's more like I just want to show what I do there and kind of like more of an art form instead of a product. So I don't sell much of them. It's more like I sold maybe two of them or something that and not even the classy one. The classy one I still have because
Okay.
it was just like another maybe like artistic thing of mine to go super crazy on it because like the wood, the ply, the veneer was
Hmm.
like super groovy, super deep, super it was breaking so easy. And I put so much clear coat on it in a step-by-step work. So you clear coat it, then you sand it, clear coat it, sand it, clear coat it, sand it. And after everything is surrounded by clear coat after some time, like the third or fourth layer, you keep going with in between the sanding is wet sanding because all the wood is covered and no water can get sucked into the wood. Um, so I did this process on every side like 7 times, and the whole deck to be finished took maybe like a time period of like 1.5 months or
Hmm.
something. And this is so unnecessary. It's so dumb actually, but it's just like for the effect to have to look at. So I think I will never sell this deck because it would be so dumb like to ride it because I
It's
put
too
so much.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just about like just to have it done once,
Hmm.
like and yeah, I just wanted to show people like, hey, I do this by the way, and maybe in the future, I don't know, like so I all the decks I sanded, they're all made in the Wood workshop, so it's all actually Woods,
Oh,
low shape. Every time low shape, I only get low shape because I like this one the most. And then there are the drilled holes in it, and I just sand it by myself. That's pretty much it. But I just wanted to show it more instead of, hey, I sell something.
okay.
Yeah.
So what is the go-to setup then for you? Like what's the world champion riding? Like what's the setup?
I forgot like to get my board out. I just take it really quick.
All right, what do you
So,
got?
I have, of course, uh, Berlin wood
Okay.
low shape. I shape by myself. There's even a video about it, or some
So
pictures at least. I don't know. Let's
all
see
right, so
what I
you
have.
made your own Berlin wood deck.
Kind of like, I mean, like they press it for me and they
Hmm.
put the holes in it for me and everything. And what I do is just like I shape it completely from a square with hand.
So you got
And
a
lately I
you got
just,
a custom. That's crazy.
yeah, I think then every burner wood I do is pretty much like a one-off.
Gotcha. Of course, you got
And
the Black River trucks.
yeah, the Ramons, my signature colorway,
Okay, okay.
which is actually no color at all. I just like it raw. It's I think so. You have like already like the grooves in it and everything. So this set maybe I ride for like 4 or 5 months.
That's
And this is
crazy.
actually the board I was winning the world champion title with the
The
setup.
most might be one of the most valuable decks ever. One of the most
I
valuable
don't know,
completes out there. Piece of
maybe.
history right there.
Yeah, and the wheels is a project I work on right now with a friend. Philip from Holzkopf. We are working on making our own wheels
Oh, okay.
lately. So there's a brand new thing. Yeah.
Huh.
And yeah, but more about that in the future, I would say. The next
Fair
couple of
enough.
weeks. I can say that's a little spoiler.
Okay.
So
Okay. Well, I'm
and
excited for this. I don't know what
yeah.
this means, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, yeah, just we worked on that and comes out pretty cool. I'm really happy with it. And of course, by the way, FBS tape.
FBS tape. That's actually
By the
all I
way,
pretty much use is that and our house tape.
yeah, like FBS is by the way like my first of or it, FBS tape was my first official sponsor I ever had in my whole
Really?
life.
Okay.
So with
FBS tape
Burnerwood, it was
needs a little bit of
mhm,
breaking in, but once you break it in, it is so good.
it's the best. It's the best. That's why like I tried pretty much like almost not every but like almost every other tape and either like I don't know like they break too easy, they are super crippy at the beginning and it's fine the first day, but then like it's get too crippy and
Mhm.
everything and or they're not crippy at all, I don't know, like or in between. But like FPS, I don't know, like it's still the best for me. It's weird, like it's not because I'm sponsored by them. It's more like it is what it is. Like I tried so much stuff, just like lately another good tape, which is not bad. It's super good, but after the second day, it's too grippy for me.
It's all
And this
personal.
is
It's all
the
personal preference.
like, yeah. At the end, it's all personal preference. So same as like I have pretty tight trucks. You can't see it, but I
It
really
is
need
pretty
some
tight.
pressure
Huh.
to turn them down. I don't have loose trucks. I use a lot of pressure.
All right. Well, this is probably going to be a good time to do our listen to win contest. So this week we've got a 34 millimeter by 98 millimeter tonic wood deck. Custom 7 ply looks absolutely gorgeous. And we also got complimentary slick screw tape as well, based out of London. So we got a 2 pack of engraved slick screw tape and a tonic wood deck. Do we figure out a challenge for them yet, Ramon?
Oh yeah. I have a favorite combo at the moment, and that's at least like some challenge, I guess, because like I know like it's not too easy, but I want to challenge the people a little bit and
Yeah.
get out of the comfort zone to learn something new, maybe. So what I want to see, I don't care if it's made on a latch or rail. On a round rail, of course, it's easier, and on a latch is harder, by the way. And it's a frontside 180 switch crooks fakie flip straight out.
Ooh, that's some world championship stuff right there. All right, give them that challenge one more time. Frontside
Yeah,
180.
so it's a frontside 180, and then you lock in the switch crooks, and then you stand like this, and then you do a fakie flip straight out. So it's not like a half cab flip that you land back like regular, and this is like the hard part about it, that you flip it
Okay.
out straight. And the only hint I can give you, if you're not familiar with this combo, which can help you for everyone, it's all about the combination of how your elbow and your shoulders are. So you go more over the table, so it's easier to stay plain with your fingers on the board. So that might help you out because figuring out this combo for me was not so easy, but at the point where I understood it, super fun.
And I'm not saying this just to say this, but I was actually legitimately doing these yesterday. So I do the frontside 180 switch crook and then I varial flip out because it's just an easier way for me to do it. But to
Yes.
control it to kick flip out, that
Yeah.
takes a
Straight,
no,
straight
that's
fakey flip. Straight fakey flip.
yeah, yeah. So to be able to fakey flip out, I mean, you're talking some serious level of control right there. So I like it. So front side crook, fakey flip out. You're gonna win this tonic wood deck and 2 pack of slick screw tape. First one to do it, make a post on Instagram and tag Slick Screws, Tonicwood.official, Ramon underscore Angelo, USAFBL, and USFBL underscore FBP.
Yeah, and I just gonna watch all of them, and when they managed to land it, I gonna choose like which one was the best. Who did it the
So,
best?
who does it the best? So, this will end Friday. It'll be Friday. I'm trying to think of the time zone. So, Friday, 5 o'clock your time, 11 a.m. Eastern. And then we'll come up with a who did it the best. So we're gonna go through all the
Yeah,
submissions and then we'll pick out a winner.
yep. And by the way, you said front crooks.
Switch
Thank you for
crook.
that. I said frontside 180 switch crooks. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. I always get the yeah, because it's a different stance. No, you're right. You're right. All right, tell them one more time just so that we have it.
Oh, I tell one more
Yeah,
time.
tell them one more time just so we have it.
Oh yeah, perfect. So yeah, at the end, you just have to do just the
Air
frontside
quotes.
180, frontside 180, switch crooks, fakie flip out straight. That's the
Boom.
challenge, and whoever does it best, I choose, which is my favorite one, and you get the stuff,
All
the
right.
deck.
No pressure, guys. No pressure. World champion judging you on your combo tricks. So I'm excited for it. Speaking of combos, we've got a combo of the year that probably would have launched last week once we launched this episode, which I know you were a finalist last year. So we've doing the same thing again this year, giving away
Mhm.
$1,000 cash, and we got some sponsors to go along with. And then we also got line of the year this year as well. So looking for a three-piece line or better, looking for the best line of the year and the best combo of the year. So definitely check out USAFBL underscore COTY and USAFBL underscore LOTY for those two projects. So super excited about that.
Um, yeah, like so what is about like what is the things you can get like for the line of the year? Because I'm a
So
little bit more invested in
I know
that.
that's the thing. So the skateboarding side, man, I wish I had all my sponsors lined out. I wasn't even thinking about it. But line of the year, we're giving away $500 cash. We're looking to up it, obviously, to 1,000, but right now we're giving away $500 cash. And then we've got a slew of sponsors. I'm going to try to edit the sponsors in after the fact because I was not prepared for this. So we've got the following sponsors. You'll see them on the screen if you're watching the video side, and I will probably edit my shout out list as well as far as the sponsors that go along with it at the end of the video. So, but yeah, we're stoked for it. We launch it when this recording is. It's Sunday. We're actually launching that later next week, and so it's gonna be fun. But yeah, September 4th is when it launches for both line of the year and combo of the year. So definitely go check those out. And then I apologize in advance for not just memorizing all my sponsors for it. Line of the year, I feel like is, the big brother of combo of the year. It's line of the year is going to be focusing more on style over everything. And so I
Hmm.
feel like a lot of people are going to be more in tune with that more than combo, but both of the contests are going to be they're going to be fire. I'm excited. So we've got questions from the internet. All
Mhm.
right, so we made a post the other day letting people know that you're going to be on the podcast, and people got excited. People submitted some pretty good questions, and if they're good, we'd introduce them to the show. So we're just gonna rapid fire these questions off. You ready?
Yep.
Do you practice fingerboarding every day? What's your
Um,
what's your
I
fingerboarding schedule look like?
I never practice. I just do it because I like to do it, and I never do it like to. I don't know. I just do it because it's fun. I never practice. For
All right,
example, like fast fingers. The last 3 or 4 days before fast fingers, I wasn't fingerboarding at all.
so I guess the term instead of practice would be is how often do you pick up a fingerboard and start like just doing stuff?
Yeah, I got it, but I don't know. I don't think too much about it. Sometimes it's more like the periods, the phases you have. Sometimes you have some couple of weeks or some time period where you fingerboard every day. and then maybe like some couple of weeks you don't fingerboard at all. It's you can't really tell, especially like after over 2 decades, you don't care too much anymore. Like maybe in the first 5 years of fingerboarding, I maybe could tell, because like you learn way more in that time period. But
That's one of the crazy things that I often fail to remember whenever I'm talking to you about fingerboarding is that like I've been fingerboarding off and on for almost 20 years, but like you've been
Mhm.
fingerboarding the entire 20 years, which is wild. So I would assume that like the progression for you has been it's been crazy. And so you probably know almost every single trick and things like that. So I feel like you might be running out of things to maybe learn, and it's more of just doing things in different places now is probably what excites you.
Yeah, the combination of that, definitely. It's still I learn new things. For example, like this favorite combo I have right now, the front 180 switch crooks fakie flip out. I just learned it last year, I guess, and I was like super hyped about it. I was like, yo, that's so fun because like it really like takes some understanding what you do with your fucking hand and your fingers to at least just land it, and then even like to perfect it to make it look more realistic. And that's another big part. Like I think like the most or like the hardest parts about like learning fingerboarding is like to make it look as realistic as possible. That's even harder to just land the trick somehow, way harder. Then have the flow, make your fingerboarding look like you actually ride a skateboard. Yeah, and then like the street outside fingerboarding, like in the streets and everything, like it's to make hard tricks and mediocre tricks there already is a huge challenge. So
Mhm.
this keeps me a lot of like still that which yeah, this keeps me still having so much fun with it.
All right, next question. Are your fingers always been flexible, or has fingerboarding like changed them? Like, has you've always been really fluent, really flexible with your fingers, or is fingerboarding something that like made you that way?
Yeah, I think fingerboarding like uh I think fingerboarding gave my brain a way more understanding like how crazy I can position my fingers and my hand and whatsoever. So that automatically that I have to do it definitely made my fingers be more flexible, of course, because you just have to come up with an idea that you need to be in that position, for example, because you
Mhm.
ride a bowl and you just with your fingertips and backtail like this. Otherwise, without fingerboarding, I would never came to the idea, maybe. So yes, but I want to
Okay.
explain why I say yes, but no,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I like it. All right, do your fingers ever get sore? And if they do, what do you do to help with sore fingers?
Store in terms of more that more go like crampy, maybe.
Maybe. I know like if I fingerboard a lot at events, I personally like if I'm doing a lot of like tricks into like rails and ledges, like my fingertips
Yeah.
will bang against the
Oh,
rails
okay.
and stuff, and like they'll get sore if you do it too long or whatnot. At least for me, but I'm not really sure what that means for you.
Yeah. No, like for me, it's more like that my like the muscles in the hand here, these ones, and like up into the arm can get really cramping
Like
sometimes, and
like
then you
carpal
just have
tunnel?
I don't know what that means. Carpal
Oh,
tunnel.
it's like
Word I
where it hurts your wrist and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, maybe. So it's more like the muscles. The muscles sometimes like cramp up because like want to keep that positionings and
Hmm.
everything. And one more trick, one more trick, one more trick, and then especially when I do lines, when I write lines, yeah, you have to take that position, and then on top of that, I write with a lot of pressure, and the pressure means like I use my muscles more, and then you can cramp up and still like having pain until here. And the only time my fingers, just your fingers, actually get sore is when I use real skateboard grip tape, which
Mm.
I do at least once a year or once upon a time when I have a really perfect deck. I have to because I love to do it at least like for 1 or 2 weeks. It's kind of like, yeah,
Bring you
like
back
the
to your
real,
roots.
yeah. This is how I started it with skateboard grip tape, and it gives you the 100% of the shape feel, and there's nothing in between. It's just like a super thin layer of some vinyl with some stones on it, some sanding stones, whatever, or like diamonds, and on the other side, I really love to do that because after the first kind of like 3 days with the same grip tape on, it's getting harder than with smooth tape, you
Mm,
know, so foam tape. And this is kind of like an make the fingerboarding I make the fingerboarding harder for myself, but how you say it? But on purpose. I do it on
okay.
purpose. Kind of
Okay.
like be even more one with my fingerboard because then you really have to know like what you do when you use grip tape, the same grip tape sheet for like 1 or 2 weeks, and all the flips come lower and harder like to flick them high and stuff. So, and it makes the fingerboarding sometimes look more realistic.
I like that. I used to do
Yeah.
that too whenever I was like starting out, like back in the 90s, late 90s and stuff, and just trying to
Mhm.
train myself to be more, just have more control.
Yeah. Yeah. And the next couple of weeks, I think I'm gonna do this the first time with this deck right here because it's perfect and I love it. And just like I don't know,
You should.
it's nice to make it harder on purpose sometimes. And then when you get back like to foam tape, it's sometimes even hard and takes me a couple of weeks to fully get back on foam tape again, which is super funny. But I like it because like then you make it less boring, or like
Hmm.
no, you make it more exciting.
Exactly.
Not less boring, you make it more exciting, extra
Exactly.
excitement.
All right, last question. Who's your favorite American fingerboarder? Is there anybody that draws inspiration to you?
Yeah, like I saw this in the comment of the post, I think, and I answered that already, and then figured out, oh no, it's for the video, and half a minute later, I directly deleted it. Like,
Okay.
and I said, and I still think it's a easy answer for me. Like, who's like my favorite American fingerboarder? It definitely breaks down like to Jay Linehan
Okay.
on Instagram. If you don't know him, hands and stuff.
Okay. Okay.
Hands and stuff. That's definitely my American. I think, yeah, pretty much like just from the fingerboarding, definitely my number one American fingerboarder. Yeah,
That's
and other from
interesting.
that,
Yeah.
dudes too, of course.
All right. So do you have any hobbies that people may not know about you besides skateboarding and fingerboarding?
Good question. Hobbies or like passions. I don't know. I love music. I am actually able to sing.
A
I
little
had a
bit.
passion
Okay.
for that. There was like a period of my time where I was learning freestyle rapping and stuff too, but that was more like around like the 2010s. But I stopped it kind of. Not interested in it anymore too much, but I'm really like into music, singing, like using my voice as an instrument more. I like that pretty much. But I still want to like do more music in terms of like singing, finding like some musicians and a place where I can be loud, which is not so easy when you just living in a normal apartment in Germany for especially because
Yeah.
like Germans are the first ones who are calling the cost because like something is a little bit too loud. Yeah, it's awful. But I wish I would have like a big house or like a house in nowhere where I could be like as loud as possible, just like to scream uh on the top of my lungs and like learning singing more because I have a really loud voice and I don't learn too much by singing quiet. But yeah, I like to sing.
Right on. No, I understand that. I think the house in the middle of nowhere is everybody's dream at some point. So,
Yeah. It doesn't even have to be big.
yeah, I feel like just having just a small piece of land, nice little
Yeah,
house,
yeah.
away from everybody, doing your thing, finding your passions, growing some,
Yep.
some fruit,
True.
some veggies, stuff
Yep.
like that, little garden,
Oh, hell yeah. I would love to.
maybe some cows and some chickens. But yeah, I feel you.
I'm not because I'm allergic, but
All right, we'll scratch the cows and chickens.
maybe chickens. Chickens,
Okay.
I'm not allergic.
All
That's
right,
a go
chickens,
for me.
chickens back on the table. All right. Well, I'm sure you got a decent sized list of people you want to recognize and give a shout out to.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. Like I mean, like for my whole life, like fingerboarding and skateboarding is one of the biggest parts like in my life when it's about like what I love to do with my life. Definitely like music, of course, too, but um and of course like it would never be like that possible to experience how I experienced it with all the support, you know. And definitely I have to let the people out there know like who are the reasons like why I'm where I am. Of course, like I kind of like delivered by myself a lot, you know. But still, there's like people like who help me out with that. So, to like my sponsors, if it's like FBS, if it's Flatface, if it's Black River, of course, who did like who are definitely like the biggest in making the most events and stuff, especially Fast Fingers and stuff. Like huge shout out to them. Like super much respect for that. Of course, risking a lot of stuff, of course, like back in the days, like with the trucks and everything. It's like and then making the scene so much better. Shout out to Martin Winkler Wheels, like one of like I know this dude, well, other way around. He knows me since I'm 12 and I'm 35 right now. And I still have like a really, really cool like friendship with him together. And I fucking love this dude. And he supported me like I was writing for him here and there, but it was more like the mental support I got from him, like sitting down with him in the kitchen for like 5 hours straight and just talking and stuff like this. So I love you, brother. And yeah, Ace iShop, TKY, like bring me like to all like the events back then. Made the biggest experience in like events, um, meeting people, how contest works, whatsoever, this stuff. And at the end, the absolute number one in my life, like where I have to put everything down and like this human being like did the most for me and supported me like since day one, of course, have to be my mother. Like nobody in the whole entire universe like supported me more than this amazing human being. Like I love her from all of my heart. Um, and just to give you like a little history about that, when I was starting skating and my mom was raising me and two other siblings alone without a father and stuff for a long time, she saved like 4 years like to get me a skateboard and stuff or like skateboard stuff. And then she once or twice was able like to do that. And then she didn't have like any money and was like it was super hard like to get any money, but she was studying to get a better degree to later make more money for the whole family, of course. That was the plan. And so she met in her classes, like study classes, uh, in math, I guess, um, a skater. So they had a deal that she did homework for the university for him because he was bad in mathematics. And for paying off that, he gave her old skate stuff for me. So my mom did homework for someone else to get me skate stuff because she didn't have the money raising three childs alone. So that's just like one story about it. I can tell way more amazing stories about my mom. So yeah, my mom's still number one. Love you, mom.
I love that. I love that. Man, that's for someone that didn't have a prepared list of shout outs, that hits the feels right here.
Got it. Got you.
All right. Where can people find you on the internet? What's your social media platforms and handles?
Everything pretty much goes just like by my real name. So like it's just like Ramon Angelo with a W at the end, of course, never forget that. And on Instagram, it's just like between the first name and last name with the underscore. On TikTok, it's just with a dot. And on YouTube, it's just the name Ramon Angelo with a slash in between. So I don't have like funky names to come up with, but yeah, so simple is king.
Right on. And then I'll make it incredibly easy for you guys as well. And I'll put the links in the description for you. So definitely be able to check out everything that you're doing and following you on social medias. And it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast and sharing some of this knowledge and getting kind of, in the mind behind a world champion and what it looks like to be sponsored by Black River. We talked about a lot of cool stuff on here, and I'm excited for this.
Man, it was I'm glad you had me, and it was like a cool first experience to have like a video podcast too and things. And that's a little bit longer, which I like because like in these days, like with social media. I think like everything is a little bit too fast, and
Hmm.
people don't take time anymore like to listen to people and actually paint a picture of something they would like to know about. But here you go. That's a real cool format
Yeah,
to
definitely.
to get a little bit more than just like fast scrolling.
No, I agree. That's one of the whole reasons behind the podcast is just being able to have those conversations, shoot the breeze, kind of drop some knowledge, some gold nuggets, I guess you would say, and spread the fingerboarding awareness.
Hell yeah, of course. Thanks for
It's
having me.
same. Till next time.
See ya.